CNN released this poll. 18 to 29-year-olds are flocking to Donald Trump and the Republican Party. And one of the reasons why is not because of the policies, not because of the president, not because of anything like that. It's because they find JD Vance to be smoking hot.
Babe, I'm going to be honest. Last night, I don't have ovaries. Obviously, I'm a man. But last night when JD Vance went on stage, baby, my body was ticking for pregnancy. He went on stage. I don't care if you're a Democrat or a Republican. He was wearing his pink tie. He was compassionate. He was loving. He comes from 2 Democratic parents. His mom had a drug addiction. Like, babe, he has substance. His mom had substance abuse, but he has substance. And my body looking, like, oh my God, the blue eyes. Ladies, were we looking at those blue eyes that pierced us? It's almost like we went to Claire's. You know how Claire's does the piercings? Bitch, he pierced my vagina. I don't care what you say.
Okay, all right, well, it's probably enough. That's happening. JD Vance, this is the JFK effect. This is exactly what happened in the very first televised presidential debate. JFK was the original. JFK was trailing Richard Milhouse Nixon. And they said, we're going to have a debate and it's going to be televised because before that, all the debates were on the radio. But TV was this big new thing and we're going to bring him into the studio and we're going to put him under the lights. And wouldn't you know it, JFK, who was like, 40? Not even 40, young in his early 40s and good looking and youthful and clean shaven and had the hair and the big smile, strolls on in, gets on camera, and Richard Milhouse Nixon, with the 5 o'clock shadow, didn't know to shave. He wasn't camera ready. He had those eyes that were his eyes weren't big and bright, and he didn't smile. He had this kind of solemn, jowly look. You know, I'm Richard Nixon. I'm not a crook. That's what happened. So you had JFK on one side, all beaming and beautiful, and then you had old grumpy Grandpa Richard Milhouse Nixon on the other side, and boom, after that debate, based solely on the way they looked, solely on the way they came across on television, boom, JFK became the front runner and eventually the president of the United States of America. JD Vance is Donald Trump's new JFK because he goes on TV with his baby blue eyes and his pink tie and his beard, and everyone, men and also women, are flipping out about him.
I don't know about you ladies, but I appreciate a well-groomed man with pretty eyes, especially a man with a beard. I don't know, a beard that's well taken care of, well-maintained, is chef's kiss for me. And last night, while watching that debate, I could not help but notice JD Vance's piercing blue eyes and that beard. It was on point. I must say kudos to you, JD, for actually bringing some attractiveness to the platform, something worth looking at for a change. Lord knows I like me a man with a nice beard and who's good looking. I'm married to a man like that. What do you ladies think? Was anything standing out to you that was good looking about JD?
I mean, I don't know about you. It's happening all over. That's all on TikTok. It's happening on Instagram. People love them some JD Vance. And it doesn't matter. They're not talking about his politics. They're talking about his piercing blue eyes. I mean, look, if whatever works. I don't care why you vote for Trump Vance. I'd love for you to be, well versed enough on their policies and have common sense enough to know that they're the only hope for the United States of America. But if the only reason you're voting for Trump Vance is because of the tingle you feel in your privates, I'm okay with that too. And it's happening. Look, there's more to this woman. Raise your hand if you fell in love with JD Vance while watching the debate. I mean, everybody loves this guy. My daughter's text after I encouraged her to get more involved in politics. Holy crap, Vance is hot as hell. I mean, this is what the JD Vance look is going to be the new look. By the way, I wanted to try it out. I don't care who, I was just trying to grow the numbers on the show, right? And I think to myself, I'm always looking at trends, what works for people, what doesn't work for people. So apparently for JD Vance, the piercing blue eyes, which I have, thankfully, are doing it. The well-kept beard, which that's a stretch for me. I'm not, hair and I don't really We don't really have a strong relationship, but I haven't shaved in a couple days, so maybe I can get a little Vance scruff going. And then the pink tie was a big turn on too. And I know he wore it because it was October 1st, the first day of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I don't actually have a pink tie, but I have this lovely violet tie, which let me know if you're watching on the stream or if you're watching this video. Let me know in the comments if the purple tie does it for you, or if I need to get myself a hot pink tie. Like, let me see. Here it is again from yesterday.
Honestly, Tim, I think you got a tough job here because you've got to play whack-a-mole. You've got to pretend that Donald Trump didn't deliver rising take-home pay, which of course.
Yeah, see, he's got hair too, though. Even look at. I mean, when you look at the contrast, and this may be part of it too. When you contrast Tim Wlaz with JD Vance on the same stage, not only is JD Vance attractive and a specimen of rugged American manhood. I mean, he looks like he came right out of an LL Bean catalog. You throw a flannel shirt on him and a puffer vest and some duck boots, and he is an LL Bean model. A shotgun casually thrown over his shoulder. That's it. You could sell as many barn jackets as you wanted to with JD Vance as your model. But when you put him up against Tim Wlaz, I mean, that is JFK Nixon revisited. And yeah, it's a hot pink tie. Probably, I don't know. Let's see. I've got maybe the hot pink. All right. Well, we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll get.
You've got to pretend that Donald Trump didn't deliver.
He's also got the American flag too. They both do, but like the blue suit, the crisp white shirt, I could see it now. I could see why women are into JD Vance. And JD Vance he's the new conservative sex symbol. Add to that the fact that he also is intelligent. Let's play that clip again. Listen to it.
Honestly, Tim, I think you got a tough job here because you've got to play whack-a-mole. You've got to pretend that Donald Trump didn't deliver rising take-home pay, which of course he did. You've got to pretend that Donald Trump didn't deliver lower inflation, which of course he did. And then you simultaneously got to defend Kamala Harris's atrocious economic record, which has made gas, groceries, and housing unaffordable for American citizens. I was raised by a woman who would sometimes go into medical debt so that she could put food on the table in our household. I know what it's like to not be able to afford the things that you need to afford. We can do so much better. To all of you watching, we can get back to an America that's affordable again. We just got to get back to common sense economic principles.
Okay, so there you go. So JD Vance is the total package. He's young, he's youthful looking, he's got a beard, he's got piercing blue eyes, he's well dressed, he's man enough to wear a pink tie, and he's smart. He knows everything about everything. And he speaks in a way that is, the other thing is he spoke in a way that was calm. This is the thing that the left was most upset. I mean, they were upset about a lot of things. They were upset that Tim Wlaz said he was friends with school shooters.
I've become friends with school shooters.
They were upset that Tim Wlaz called himself a knucklehead.
And I'm a knucklehead at times.
They were upset that the answer to the question, is Tim Wlaz a moron, is yes.
Is Tim Wlaz a moron?
Yes. They were upset about all those they were upset about all those things. But they were most upset that JD Vance was so good at everything, and he didn't lose his cool. He didn't lose his temper. He didn't call anyone any names. He didn't say that they were eating dogs and cats in Springfield, Ohio. He didn't say that this person was a liar. That person, even when he interrupted the moderators who broke the rules by fact checking him, and he tried to politely fact check them, he did it in a way that was polite and not angry. He did it in a way that was respectful, if you will. He did it in a way that was demure and mindful. And I'm not going to say cutesy. I'm not going to say cutesy, but I mean, basically that's what he did.
Margaret, but thank you, Senator. We have so much to get to.
Margaret, I think it's important because
we're going to turn out of the economy. Thank
Margaret,
you.
The rules were that you guys weren't going to fact check, and since you're fact checking me, I think it's important to say what's actually going on.
I mean, he calms everybody down. He's the guy that breaks up the fight and makes everybody feel like they won. You know, he'll break up the fight, he'll send everybody, and everyone's going to come around and they're going to be like, I won that fight. That's exactly what JD Wlaz. That's exactly what JD Vance is. And that's exactly what Tim Wlaz is not. So again, kudos to Donald Trump Jr. for finding JD Vance, for plucking him out of the Senate and presenting him to his father and saying, this is the guy. Kudos to Donald Trump Jr., who, by the way, will take full credit. We saw him when we went to the Tucker Carlson tour the other day. Tucker Carlson had Donald Trump Jr. on stage, and he brought him out, and they sat down, and they started talking about Donald Trump Jr.'s political acumen, which is understated and underrated, and a lot of people don't know. And he said, I wanted JD Vance. And when I found out that the rich donors to my father's campaign and the special interests who were trying to get their man onto my father's campaign, when I found out they didn't want JD Vance, they wanted someone else, well, that just made me want JD Vance even more. Not as much as this guy wants JD Vance.
Babe, I'm gonna be honest. Last night, I don't have ovaries. Obviously, I'm a man. But last night when JD Vance went on stage, baby, my body was ticking for pregnancy.
Yeah, he didn't like him that much, but he liked he liked him a lot. If Donald Trump wins the gay vote because of JD Vance, I mean, right? Mind blown. Boom. I want to see the CNN poll on the gays. That's what I want to see. Show me the Latinos, and I know for a fact that Donald Trump's going to win the Latino vote. Show me the black vote, and yes, I know that Donald Trump's going to steal at least 50% of the black vote from the Democrats. Show me the suburban soccer moms, because I saw the Moms for America. I watch Chicks on the Right every morning. I know what's going on with these people. I know that there are women out there who are eager to vote for Donald Trump, not because they give a rat's patootie about abortion or election integrity, but because they're sick and tired of feeling unsafe when they go for a jog. They're sick and tired of not having enough money for Lululemon yoga pants. They're sick and tired of not being able to feed their families, and they're sick and tired of all the other ridiculousness that comes along with Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. Show me all those numbers, but give it a week. Throw JD Vance out there on the trail, put him on TV a little bit more, maybe have him sit down with, I don't know, Bravo, Andy, put him on Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. I don't care what you have to do, but show me the gay numbers. Because I bet that gays for Trump is getting a whole bunch. They're getting a lot of clicks today. They're getting a lot of signups because of JD Vance and his piercing blue eyes at that debate.